Hey guys, Nico Elvedi here. Now for today's video, I want to talk about Daniel Rugani being linked to Arsenal as well as Wolves, who are interested in him as well. Also, Nico Elvedi, Borussia Mönchengladbach defender, linked with Arsenal. And I want to talk about someone I never thought would be on our radar, but Matias Vecino from Inter Milan being linked with Arsenal. I'll be giving my thoughts on that. But until then, please continue to subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. If you do, it does help to support the channel out. Now, let's get started. So, Daniel Rugani. Now, I know it must seem like a bit of a flashback because I've talked about Daniel Rugani several times this season on his rumored transfer with Arsenal. Arsenal are said to be looking at Daniel Rugani once again, and part of that is to do with the fact that Wolves are also looking at Daniel Rugani to bring into their side. Daniel Rugani, 25 now, Italian centre-back, plays for Juventus. A few years ago, he was touted as a really good young prospect to look at. And even though Daniel Rugani is a good centre-back, just hasn't quite lived up to the expectations that's brought upon him. And even though he signed a new contract last season, part of that is to do with the fact that he's young. Juventus want a resale value, so he signed that. So it's going to take quite a lot of money to get him out of there. Now, we all know Arsenal have scouted Rugani before. They've shown clear interest before, which is absolutely fine. But Arsenal aren't in the position right now in order to be looking at spending or even challenging other teams for players. And I know you're thinking, yeah, we should be kind of competing with these teams for these players, but we got to be honest with ourselves. Like, this is the reality of things. Arsenal aren't in that position anymore. They just really aren't. I would love them to be in that position where, they're challenging teams, they're going out there trying to sign either the best players or the players that they really, really want, whether they cost 30 or 40 mil. I mean, there was a news article yesterday talking about Max Aarons, and I chose not to do a video on it because Max Aarons, I know it's going to cost 30 to 40 mil. And we're not going to get him on a cut price deal. And if we were to get him on a cut price deal, you can believe every club in the top 8 are going to be looking at Max Aarons. So, I mean, it's like, what's the point in even talking about it? And it's a similar situation here with Daniel Rugani. The only difference now is that instead of being with maybe 7, 8 teams that might be interested in Daniel Rugani, it's really only so far as far as I'm aware, is only 2. And that's Arsenal and that's Wolves. If we possibly was to sell other players for their kind of full-ish value, the likes of Mkhitaryan, El Nene, Mustafi, yeah, we could sure be able to do that. What are the chances of that happening? Kind of unlikely. And we've got other areas of the pitch that need to be looked at. And I've been thinking about this all the time, but the midfield. And I know I could start off talking about that, and it's a bit of a tangent, and I'll get onto that in another video. But Arsenal have to be really tactical and really astute in who they go after. And for me, even though Daniel Rugani is a good player, 25 years old, still, he's the type of player that you would want. And I've seen some of the recent comments on the videos talking about David Luiz. I mean, it would be a good signing, but for the price that Juventus would be looking for when his current contract runs out in 2024, I just highly doubt that this one is going to happen. But leave your comments below on whether you think that that's really going to happen or not. Also, I want to talk about Borussia Mönchengladbach defender Nico Elvedi. Now, Nico Elvedi is 23 years old, 6'4" centre back, like really good player. I mean, he's a player that, if you don't know, I've talked about before on the channel. Arsenal were rumoured with him last summer. Decent player, Swiss international, obviously that Granit Xhaka connection, and I wouldn't be surprised if Granit maybe talked to them and say, hey, you need to check out Nico, like he's the business. And he looks like a really good centre-back. Very versatile, and you can understand why Arsenal are interested in him as well. He's primarily a centre-back, but he can play both right back and left back. So really versatile player, and you can understand on a tactical side why Arsenal would be looking for that, because he would be, I would say, the only player that we could have that could play all of those positions in the back four. I know Callum Chambers can play centre back and right back, and obviously you got Maitland-Niles who can play right back and left back, but to play centre back, right back, and left back, it's pretty rare. You don't oftenly find that. Normally, it's two out of the three defensive positions at max that you generally get. But it is said that Arsenal are interested in Nico Elvedi, currently valued at 25 mil. And this is based on transfermarket.co.uk. And he's been a bit of a downturn in terms of his value. He's been okay. Last summer, he was really touted as being a really good prospect. At the time, he's been linked with the likes of Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, and the top German teams. But over the past season, during the season, his value's kind of tailed off a bit, and I think this is probably the reason why Arsenal are looking at him again. Still really good player, and still young, 23 years old. Again, like I said, versatile, and can play multiple positions. So it might be a good opportunity for Arsenal to get in there, and you just gotta hope that Mikel Arteta is the coach that we all think and believe that he can be, to be able to coach him to be a better player, and Arsenal could potentially would have bought a steal of a deal in terms of a player. Now, I mean, in order for Arsenal to get him out of Borussia Mönchengladbach, I mean, Arsenal would be looking for some type of discount. His contract runs out at the end of 2021, so you could believe there probably could be some option of maybe getting him on a reduced fee. Right now, he's valued at 25 mil. This is again on transfermarket.co.uk, but maybe around 15, 20, because this is more around what Arsenal might be looking for, which could be a good option. And I mean, Arsenal are rumoured with lots and lots of defenders, is what I'm seeing over the past several weeks. So my guess is that there will be some departures from the defensive position, whether it being the likes of David Luiz or Mustafi, or even Mavropanos, who I really wish would get a chance, as he's been doing really well on loan in Germany. So let's see what happens there in regards to that. But really good player, big, strong, tall, can hold up the ball very well. Not that quick, but decent for a defender. And for me, from what I've seen, and this is just from what I've seen from videos, looks like a really, really good centre back. And finally, I want to talk about Matias Vecino. Now, this is an article that came about a couple of days ago, and I flagged it as someone that I wanted to look more deeply into. He's a little bit older, at 28 years old, Uruguay international. So again, the Lucas Torreira influence could be the case. Currently plays for Inter Milan right now, and the reason why I wanted to bring this guy up is because of his versatility in the midfield. I honestly believe that the midfield is the biggest problem and issue with Arsenal right now. I think it's the midfield link in the midfield with the attack, the midfield and the defence, which is a CDM and an AM respectively, as well as that creative or workhorse type player that you have in just central midfield, somebody that could get around the pitch, someone that just has lots of different characteristics. And it's part of the reason what I thought that Unai Emery in his reign was really missing, and that he should have adapted a lot more to compensate for that. But I believe that Matias Vecino could be that player under Mikel Arteta. Now, I mean, this is a player, Matias Vecino. He's a central midfield player, but he can play as an attacking midfield player and as a defensive midfield player. And that is something that you do not see. You do not see central midfield players that could play two-way, both attacking and defensive. Right now, Matias Vecino is valued at 16 million on transfermarket.co.uk. But 28 years old, he's got 2 years left on his contract. This could be an opportunity for Arsenal to sign him for 10 mil. Maybe even less than that, to be honest. Let's say half that amount. So 8 mil. And 8 mil for a player, experienced player like him, that can play in multiple positions, and he's not bad of a player in terms of the way how he plays. Now, I do have to say that when you're looking at like his stats, doesn't really produce the numbers that what you would kind of expect. I mean, let's see, we got here 23 games, 3 goals, 1 assist. I know the majority of those games, primarily he's been playing in central midfield, and at times playing as a DM, and on the rare occasion would he play as an attacking midfielder. But in terms of a central midfield player, I think those stats are pretty reasonable. He's the type of player that you would supplement with playing with someone that's a lot more attacking in front of him as well. So that's how I would use him. And from all the games that I've been watching of him play, I really do like him as a player. So check him out. Let me know what you guys thoughts. But guys, once again, thank you for watching the video. Please continue to leave your comments below and let me know your thoughts on players. It gives me ideas on videos, maybe gets me to look deeper into other things regarding certain players that you talk about. Doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Aubameyang, David Luiz, Mohamed El Nene, or Gabriel Martinelli. It doesn't matter. It all really helps. But continue to leave your comments below. Please continue to subscribe to the channel. It really just help the channel out, and like the videos. And I will see you all next time.